Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to the Whole Soul Podcast. I don't know if you can hear this music in the background right now. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I want to bring in the healing vibes into the space, so I thought it would be fun to underlay or overlay these episodes with some beautiful healing frequencies and just create the space to be a healing, safe space for you to sink into your body, your breath, and really just start remembering your true nature deeper and deeper and deeper. And I really feel that that's a big reason. It's part of the whole purpose of why we're here is to just sink into deeper remembrance, deeper self-acceptance, deeper self-love into who we are. Because as we get to know who we are deeper and deeper, we get to know God deeper and deeper. Because I believe we are all extensions of the same source. And as we can start leaning into our authentic truth and authentic, unique, individual nature, one by one, we come closer to self, capital S self, our true nature, source, spirit, that which you are meant to be. So, how can you deeper receive your breath right now? No matter where you are, whether you are going for a walk, whether you're just chilling in your room, whether you are driving, I just invite you right now to take a deep breath with me. In through the nose and slowly exhaling out the mouth. Just noticing how much better you feel just after one breath. How much more open you allow yourself to feel with your breath. It's wild because our breath is a constant in our life. It's something that we do inherently, innately. We don't even have to think about it. But our body is so wise and intelligent that we just continue to breathe even when we're not conscious of it. But the power in the breath comes when we can start to become conscious of it. Because when we forget to breathe or take a moment to take a deep breath throughout the day, then we become disconnected. We stay in the state of fight or flight, of survival, when it's through the breath where we connect to our true nature, where we expand our lungs, where we expand our vessel to be able to receive more light, more oxygen, where we feel more connected to everything all around us because we're sinking into presence, embodied presence through the breath. So, just an invitation for you to look at your life or even look at where you are right now. How many times did you intentionally take a moment to just take a pause and breathe today? It's so nice when you can actually start to do it. I guess trailing off of this topic and diving into the episode, although I feel like we're already diving in. As soon as this episode started, we started diving in. But something I wanted to talk about today is, I guess, a little bit of the journey that I'm on right now and what I've been integrating into my life. Because I usually find that as I'm moving through things, as I'm learning and growing through things, there's usually also a big part of the collective consciousness that is experiencing similar things or going or growing through similar things. I think I spoke about this a little bit on the other episodes that I posted the last few weeks, but things have been good, solid, stable foundation. Yet, at the same time, there's been this inner battle within myself. Like, the inner critic and the higher self, the voices of doubt, disbelief, limiting beliefs, conditioning and programming. And then there's this glimpse of faith, of hope, of trust, this higher voice that is guiding me towards my true north, you could say. So recently it's been a battle between these two voices, and I've gotten to a point where I've been tired and exhausted of dealing with these limiting beliefs, with these voices trying to keep me small or doubtful or to shut myself down. And I've been in this process right now of really sitting down with myself, questioning if, am I on the right path? Not even that, because I genuinely feel like I am on the right path and I'm going in the right direction. And, being 24 years old or your mid or your early, even your late 20s, you're not supposed to have everything figured out. And quite frankly, I don't think most people do have it quite figured out at any point in their life. But especially in your early to mid to late 20s, you are being shaped. You are being formed into who you are meant to be, into who you are becoming. If you are on this path of personal growth, self-development, spirituality. And something that someone told me the other day that really stuck with me is that we go through these cycles every 7 years where we really transform and step into another chapter of life. So for context, from 0 to 7 years old, that is our infancy, where we're going into childhood, where we are the most subject to programming. Literally, the ages from 0 to 7 are where your subconscious mind is being programmed. Then we go into ages 7 through 14, where this is more so your childhood, your teenagerhood, where you are starting to form relationships, social relationships. Then we go into 14 to 21. That's another 7-year cycle. I think this is also a deepening into intersocial relationships with peers of people our age as we are growing up, which has a huge impact on our life. And then we go from 21 to 28, which if you're listening to this and you're between this right now, I am also in the middle of my 4th cycle, I guess I would say, or 5th. And I really believe that when you enter your 20s, you're kind of like 0 years old. 20 years old, you're 0 years old. Because as you graduate high school, as you kind of step into the world and leave home and start life, you're pretty much a child figuring out what to do with your life, who you are, pursuing a career, choosing a path, and really becoming an adult. So we put all this pressure on ourselves as we are in our mid to late to early 20s, when it's truly a time where we are being shaped, where we're supposed to live and experience life and not get too attached to things. Because also our brain is developing until we're about 25 years old. I think that was the study or statistic that was done that I saw. So just permission for you, and also I'm saying all of this to myself as it's also such an important reminder for me, but you're not supposed to have it all figured out, babe, especially right now. It's okay to not know. It's okay to give yourself the permission to just let go of the pressure and the expectations and the shoulds, and tying your worth to productivity, to success, to the amount of money in your bank account. Because your worth is inherent within you. You don't have to do anything to prove your worth. You're worthy because you're alive. You're worthy because you're here. And as I've been going through this process right now of shifting and letting go of old identities and really feeling like I'm stepping into a new path, or at least exploring a new path, a new way of being, and wanting to learn more, wanting to experience more, I'm really prioritizing giving myself the grace and the permission to be okay with that, to be okay with not knowing, not having full clarity right now. And that's been such a challenge because all of these conditions and programs are coming up for me right now where I'm seeing the guilt, the shame that comes with not being productive or feeling like I have to work so hard to be successful, or if I'm not suffering while working, then I'm not doing the right thing. So I've been intentionally taking the last few days off of social media. I'm doing a full social media detox, except for some work that I have to do for clients because that's where my work resides right now. But I'm not going on my personal social media. I'm completely tuning it out and coming back to a place of introspection and really grounding within myself. Because there's so much noise, right? There's so much noise on social media. You're looking at other people all the time. You're consuming content, and that is robbing your energy from creating. And I've noticed myself in this pattern where I'll just wake up in the morning. I'll maybe go do some yoga, and then first thing I'll do is get in the social media rat race. What can I create today? How can I be more consistent? How can I build my following? How can I build my income? And then it go into this comparison loop of, looking at other creators. What are they doing? How are they successful? And if you're listening to this, I'm sure you can relate to this in some way, depending on what your goals are. But my goodness, it is exhausting to be in a constant cycle of comparison, of competition, of feeling like you're falling behind, feeling like you're not worthy because you're not living up to this dream or this version of self that you see yourself being. You're not there yet, and you feel like you can't have inner peace. You feel like you can't love and accept yourself until you get to that place, until you have that success, until you get that thing. But it's actually being in that state that disconnects you from that because you're so obsessed, you're so controlling. You're not allowing for divine will, divine surrender, for God to really take the reins and organize your path. So I think a huge part of this is also having faith. Because if you're too in control, if you're too obsessive, if you're too controlling, you don't allow the space for God to do the work of your becoming, of your unfolding in perfect timing. Because what if actually the real shift and the transformation that you're seeking is coming from letting go, from surrendering any control, any obsession you have over the way things should be or the ways you think things should be and turn out? What if surrendering that was actually the shift that you need in order to create space for what is meant to happen, what is meant for you to actually come your way? Because I find that for myself, and I know so many people, they get obsessed with the how. Well, how is this going to happen? How are my dreams going to come true? And while that is valid, getting too attached to that is no good, and it's not good for your energy. You'll get stuck in cycles of lack, of scarcity, which then that becomes an attractor field for what you call into your life. So right now with my social media detox, with just devoting more time to giving myself the permission to be in the unknown, I'm allowing myself to do this. And with this, there's so much coming to the surface. Shame and guilt for not doing more, being productive. Feeling like I'm falling behind because I am taking space to just simply be. But I think it's so important, especially if you're going through transitions in your life, to give yourself the space to reevaluate where you are, reevaluate what your dreams are. Because the dreams that you had a few years ago aren't necessarily going to resonate with who you are right now. So that was a really big breakthrough for me that has kind of softened me, has kind of given me this permission to give myself the space to just be and rediscover who I am at a new depth and at a new level. Because again, the state that I've been in has been exhausting. My mind, the inner critic, the battles within my mind of who I think I should be versus where I am now has just been debilitating. And so I knew it was time for a shift. I knew it was time for just to shake things up and do something different, because I just can't stand the way that I've been operating anymore. And I guess this is a very vulnerable thing for me to share, but I think it's important because we're not meant to stay the same all the time. And I'm sure you've experienced this too in your life, where maybe life has just felt monotonous, or you're not happy with what you're doing anymore, yet you're doing it because you're in the habit of doing it. But you feel like you can't maybe do it for much longer because you're being called to change. I think it's actually in this cocoon, in this downtime where, you should commit to doing what you have to do the bare minimum, or what you have to do to keep your income, or just keep things moving in your life. But instead of trying to figure things out, take that space and time for yourself to simply be. It's so important. Your future self needs it. Your higher self needs it to actually realign and get back on track. Pushing yourself and forcing yourself when you're in a state of burnout, or when you're just feeling like you can't do it anymore, is going to do you more harm than good. And it's kind of counter opposite, because you would think that you need to figure it out, right? On a logical level. But if you're trying to constantly figure it out and nothing's working because you just feel overwhelmed, you need to slow down. Your nervous system is in overdrive. Come back to your body. I actually had a situation like this a few days ago where I felt like I was losing my fucking mind. It was exhausting. I didn't know what to do with myself, but I knew I had to go back to my body. I knew I had to come back and nurture my inner child. Breathe, move through whatever emotions were coming up. And although I felt so much freaking resistance to it, it was the most important thing I could do. Because when we get too over-analytical, too logical, we lose sight of the wisdom of our body. I truly believe that our body knows, our heart knows, but we don't give ourselves the opportunity to listen more times than not, because we're so in the mind of control, of thinking how things should be, or having expectations, or these programs that are overriding your intuition, your inner voice, your heart. So if you take anything from this episode today, I hope you give yourself the permission to let go of the expectations, of the shoulds, of the trying to figure it out when you're not supposed to maybe figure it out right in this moment. Give yourself a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, 1 week of time devoted to yourself every single day, where you just tune into your body. What do I want? What has shifted in my life? What is in alignment? What is not in alignment? Just get really clear on where you are right now, who you are right now, your desires. And I think that is a beautiful starting point. It's actually something I'm doing in my own life right now. And I want to take you on the journey with me. But seriously, my love, really just sit with yourself. You deserve it. Don't try to figure it out right now if you don't have the capacity within you. If you're in a state of burnout, let yourself be there for a little bit of time, because trying to get out of a place of burnout is actually going to perpetuate the cycle. I love you so much. I hope this landed. I won't be on social media for a little bit. I don't know how long. I'm reclaiming my joy and my creativity and really coming back to self. So I hope this inspires you. If you feel called to be a part of a community or collective of women who are on the journey of growth, healing, expansion, and stepping into heart-led leadership, the Whole Soul Collective, my community, is open for you. I will link the link to join in the description. I would love to have you. It's the sweetest group of women. It's been so transformational to just have a safe space to come to every single week, to do the practices, to journal, to be in community, to have a beautiful chat where we just really go deep into our inner worlds and what we're moving through, and just holding the space for one another to do that. It's so special, it's so sacred, and I'm excited to call you in, whoever's meant to be a part of it, to join and grow together with us. I love you so much. I hope you have the most beautiful day. I hope you liked the music. And I'm sending you all the love and blessings on your journey for today and every day to come.